and the Adahi Tano program. Cars Plus, home of Guam's first and only lifetime limited powertrain warranty. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Starting now on Primetime, a survivor of sexual assault is speaking out. Plus, after pausing on PUA payments due to possible fraudulent claims, the Guam Department of Labor says a batch is being released. And with 9 new COVID-19 cases, Guam's toll is now nearing 370.
Hafid and good evening. I'm Adriana Cotero. Joshua Palacios, the man accused in the death of Keith Castro, is taking his case to trial. In Superior Judge Vern Perez's courtroom, jury selection and trial was tentatively set for August 25th at 9:30 a.m. And it was in July 2019 Castro was beaten and fatally shot at a residence in Jico. Palacios faces murder charges, while co-defendant Tomas Taitano has since entered a cooperation plea agreement. He pled guilty to aggravated assault as a third-degree felony for striking Castro with a metal baton. Palacios' next court appearance was scheduled for August 17th. The Navy has identified the sailor who died last Thursday at Naval Base Guam as 23-year-old Gerald William Turner, Jr. He was a gunner's mate seaman assigned to the guided missile destroyer USS Rafael Peralta, which was here on a scheduled port visit. According to a Navy release, Turner was found unresponsive at a designated Liberty site on base. Life-saving efforts were performed on him until an ambulance arrived on scene. But he was later pronounced dead at the U.S. Naval Hospital. The cause of death is still being investigated. Turner was originally from Maryland and joined the Navy 2 years ago. Mark Mayo's federal drug case is heading to trial next week. Mayo was arrested in November 2019 after a drug raid in Estumbo. He faces charges of conspiracy to distribute meth and attempted possession of meth with intent to distribute. All parties went on a site visit to the Guam Army National Readiness Center, a larger venue, during a status hearing to discuss the logistics of holding jury selection at that location and the courthouse. Both counsels preferred and agreed upon jury selection to occur at the center. Mayo is scheduled for a pretrial conference for tomorrow, August 4th, and due to the availability of the center, the court pushed the trial date back to August 12th. A 14-year-old boy is confined at the Department of Youth Affairs for multiple car thefts after leading police on a high-speed chase Sunday. GPD first responded to a report of a thief who drove off with the gold Kia Sportage from the new Fresh Bread Bakery in Jigo around 7 a.m. 2 hours later, police spotted a blue Kia Sedona taxi with the same license plate as a previously stolen vehicle from Yes Market in Jigo. Police gave chase and reported that the driver intentionally rammed into 2 marked patrol cars and another vehicle while trying to elude them. The thief was finally caught on indicted, though. The 14-year-old has been charged with multiple offenses, including robbery, reckless driving, and resisting arrest. Administration officials say they're working as fast as they can to use up $118 million in COVID-19 relief funding provided by the Fed since April. So far, they've managed to spend just about 25% of the money, and anything left over will have to be paid back. Nestor Lecanto reports.
Speaking on KUAM's multimedia show The Link, DOA Director Ed Byrne says they're spending the funds at the same rate as the rest of the territories.
There's been a very great effort to get money out and into the economy and into the hands of people that need the money.
But 75% of the money is still sitting in the bank. So far, they've spent just $29 million of the $118 million allocated, although the money does come with restrictions. For example, the local program known as Programan Salapi Adzudan Itautau was approved, but 65% of applications had to be denied.
But most of them are rejected because they've already received the payment as a dependent somewhere else. So we had people that were applying as a dependent and were applying on their own behalf, and the program only plays it out once.
In May, the administration developed a spending plan for the $118 million, but any amount not encumbered by January 31st of next year has to be paid back.
We're all hoping that Congress, when they meet this week, will extend that those funds and the deadline.
But Byrne points out that there are several other multi-million-dollar federal assistance programs that GovGuam has managed to roll out. These include the EIP stimulus payments and the first-ever unemployment payments.
The amount of money that we've kind of spent on all these programs since January the 1st is something like $411 million, which is like 2/3 of our annual budget, in addition to our annual budget. So we're doing our very best to make sure that those that need these funds get them.
Byrne also debunked speculation that the government is intentionally sitting on the money to earn big interest in the bank. He says that would only amount to several $1,000s. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
The Labor Department has been slowed down by a swarm of fraudulent claims, mainly coming from the mainland U.S. But Director David De La Sola says they've managed to clean those up and will send out a double batch of unemployment benefit payments this week, including 7,000 new claims.
We are hitting it. We're hitting it hard. We're getting a lot of people paid. A total of, like I think last time I talked to you, we have close to 29,000 people are going to be paid, claims are going to be paid with this batch. That's quite a phenomenal feat, and I'm very impressed with the team. And I know there's people still out there that are having a hard time getting through, but the volume of people that we're handling is outstanding with the amount of people that we have.
De La Sola says GDOL will be paying clean claims up to July 11th. The vast majority of businesses already filed their business privilege taxes online. A bill by Senator Regine Bisco-Lee would make it mandatory by early next year. And during a public hearing today, Rev and Tax Director Daphne Shimizu agreed it would be more cost efficient for them.
When things are filed online, when BPT returns are filed online, that information is already it's already updated into our system, so there isn't a need for manual data entry, and so that's something, of course, that will, in terms of efficiency, help our agency.
The bill would also require DRT to set up on-site computer kiosks for the public to use. They would also have to hold a public education and awareness campaign about online BPT filing before it's implemented. Online payments will remain optional as DRT still charges a 3% convenience fee for credit card payments. Adelup and the legislature's Office of Finance and Budget are close to agreeing on a reliable revenue projection for the upcoming fiscal year. Pre-COVID, Adelup submitted a $1 billion budget for next fiscal year. Post-COVID, the legislature is looking at a $50 million shortfall. However, Adelup maintains it's actually $8 million when you factor in tax collections. GOP Party Chair Tony Atta accused Adelup of faking finances. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero.
And I know they've accused me of putting up a facade. Listen, there's no room here for facade. There isn't. We're dealing and talking about people's lives here. And we are responsible elected officials that they have entrusted their trust to us. We are accountable and we are real. We are practical and it's reality.
For the governor's full interview with Chris and Bree, head over to KUAM News Facebook or YouTube page. From the Joint Information Center, the latest COVID-19 data, and the island sees a jump in cases. The total of COVID-19 cases on Guam is now at 368, with 9 testing positive, 3 cases from GMH, 3 from DLS, and 1 from GRMC, and 1 testing positive in Indiana. Of the 9, 4 cases had recent travel to the U.S. mainland. To date, there are 58 active cases, 5 deaths, 305 recovered, and 6 currently hospitalized. And community drive-through walk-in testing continues tomorrow. The venue has been changed to the church grounds of Our Lady of Peace and Safe Journey Catholic Church along Route 4 in Chalampago from 9 a.m. to noon. Testing is free and open to the public while supplies last. No symptoms are needed to qualify for testing. All you need to do is bring your ID. And 195 Department of Correction employees were tested for COVID-19 on Thursday, July 30th. According to Major Anton Uggan, the personnel include civilian and security and were tested at the DOC facilities by the Department of Public Health. He adds that DPHSS is leading this operation and says there is no particular reason for the testing, as it was something the director requested months ago to ensure the safety of staff and inmates. As of this time, no inmates or detainees have been tested. DOC and DPHSS are designing a plan to test all inmates and detainees in the next few weeks. DPHSS has started informing employees of the results, although Major Uggan did not have any information on whether or not staff has since tested positive. And stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
We are open to serve you at Cars Plus Guam. Need a quick service for your vehicle? Visit our express lane at Cars Plus. Done fast, done right. No appointment needed. Our service team is dedicated to helping you get your vehicle in and out of the shop and back on the road quickly and securely. Simply drop off your vehicle at our express lane driveway, and one of our service advisors will take care of it. Need a ride? Not to worry. We have a shuttle vehicle ready to drop you back home and pick you up when your vehicle is ready. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit us today. We are open to serve you.
It's gonna look a little different in here. Your favorite spot might not be exactly where it used to be. Being next in line might feel a little less like next in line. And our smiles might come with a little extra shine. But McDonald's is ready to take your order as safely as we can.
We still hand rotate every barrel. We still hand dip every bottle. We still hand cut every label and use red winter wheat from the same single-family farm. Because just like our distinctive taste, these are the marks of the maker.
While we've all been through a lot over the years, typhoons, earthquakes, and now COVID-19, we've been able to get through these together.
For more than 80 years, Travelers Insurance has been protecting your homes, your businesses,
And the health of your family.
We are here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
There are better days ahead. Tomorrow's a new day filled with hope and choices.
The possibilities of what we can achieve together are limitless.
Let's continue to work together to ensure a brighter tomorrow for all of us.
After only a year and a half in Congress, Michael San Nicolas stands out for being one of 6 members in Congress that the bipartisan House Committee on Ethics is investigating this term. He also stands out for having the worst voting record this term, missing almost 52% of votes he could have cast for Guam. San Nicolas stands out for getting national coverage for himself and Guam on ABC News, The New York Times, Fox News, The Washington Post, and more. The investigation is examining if San Nicolas converted campaign funds for personal use, accepted improper campaign contributions, filed false reports with the Federal Election Commission, made false statements to government investigators, and improperly interfered or attempted to interfere in a government investigation. Here at home, San Nicolas stands out for refusing to comment on the investigations and not explaining how he missed so many votes. We can't afford to take another chance on Michael San Nicolas.
I'm Robert Underwood, and I approve this message.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
Welcome back. Attorney Tom Fisher is still not satisfied and is seeking procurement records from the Guam Port Authority. Fisher argues that GPA General Manager Roy Respicio did not comply with the FOIA request for documents on contracts, purchase orders, payment applications, and payments for legal services, and more so procurement records by the port from January 1st to present day. Fisher is before Judge Anita Sokola petitioning against Respicio for not providing the documents within 4 days of his request. Representing Respicio, Deputy Attorney General James Canto argues that his client handed over all the information and any additional procurement records are open to the public for review at any time. During the hearing, the court asked Respicio to make sure the procurement records are open and ready for Mr. Fisher to inspect and make copies of. As for if Respicio is in violation of not following the statute and if a $1,000 penalty will be imposed, the court is taking the matter under advisement and will issue a decision in order. Guam was inducted into the Unrepresented Nations and People Organizations at its 25th General Assembly. Speaker Tina Munya Barnes introduced and passed Resolution 255-35, which supported the island's application for membership and was approved by the UNPO in April. She delivered the island's introductory message at the recent assembly.
Our 180,000 island residents are born U.S. citizens, yet still do not possess the same rights that are afforded to those who reside in the United States. To this day, the archaic ruling of the 1901 Insular Cases, which declared that citizenship and full constitutional rights do not extend to alien races of the U.S. territories, has continued to allow the federal government to treat the people of Guam differently from the rest of the United States.
The speaker noted how membership can pave the way for action on the international arena regarding the island's political status referendum. The island joined 4 other members in its recent induction. The CNMI recorded 3 more confirmed cases of COVID-19 over the weekend, all of whom were incoming travelers. The CNMI residents were all screened through the 5th-day testing travel protocol and are in quarantine at the isolation facility on Saipan. This brings the CNMI's total case count to 45. The CNMI governor's office says that 21 of the total cases were identified through travel screening. Meanwhile, the NMI continues its community-based testing initiative, having tested close to 12,000 residents, or nearly a quarter of its population. And keeping with regional news, the House Special Committee investigating executive expenditures by Governor Ralph Torres was approved subpoenas to the Department of Finance. It seeks to obtain unredacted records related to utilities, travel, and personal security. NMI Finance Secretary David Atlick responded at a media briefing on Friday.
I will be, my staff is working on those documents as requested on the subpoena. We will be reviewing those documents, and we'll be seeking legal counsel to just ensure that we don't invade any personal and private information. But we will comply. I have up to August 4th to submit these documents, and assured I will comply to the subpoena.
Representative Tina Sablan told KUAM News that more subpoenas could be on the way on Wednesday if departments and agencies fail to comply with more recent records requests. The U.S. Department of Agriculture released a notice of suspicious and unsolicited packages of seed that could be sent from China. According to a press release from the Guam Department of Agriculture, those who might receive a similar package should contact the pest hotline at 671-475-7378. The press release states, quote, currently USDA does not have any evidence indicating this is something other than a brushing scam, where people receive unsolicited items from a seller who then posts false customer reviews to boost sales, unquote. USDA says it is collecting the packages to test its contents. An online support group for caregivers of family members with dementia launches this week. The program, hosted by UOG's ISA Psychological Services Center, provides the services through its telehealth geriatric support services in collaboration with the School of Health's Guam Micronesia Workforce Enhancement Program. ISA Psychological Services Center counselor Annie Faye Camacho.
The support groups is providing people with the space to tell us their stories, and further down the line, we're going to try to bring in people to do presentations, healthcare professionals, to tell them a little more about dementia, what's going on with their loved one, and maybe some skills training that they would find helpful.
Rhoda Arello with the Health Services of the Pacific says COVID times make the services more critical than ever.
Having a support group that would allow anybody who's caring for anybody with dementia to express their feelings. And a lot of times too, they don't understand that anger and frustration is part of being a caregiver. And so this is an avenue for them to, without judgment, to be able to just do that, release those stressors.
The program is free and open to partners, family members, and caregivers. Sessions start on Wednesday, and organizers emphasize that it is client-centered and confidential. Tomorrow morning on The Link, we continue with our Decision 2020 interviews with the candidates. Joining Chris and Bree are Democrats Franklin Meno and John Inanich, and Republicans Telo Taitakui and Joe Ann Brown. The election portion of the show is from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on The Breeze 93.9 FM. And coming up, in case you missed it, this morning on The Link, Bree and Chris check what the Attorney General of Guam is doing. Keep it here.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más.
Taco Bell's new grilled cheese burrito is filled with nacho cheese sauce and a delicious 3-cheese blend. And even more melty cheese is grilled on top. Introducing Taco Bell's grilled cheese burrito box. Order ahead and pick yours up at our contactless drive-thru.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
As a kid, your dad always taught you new things. As an adult, he probably still does. Pedro just got his very first paycheck from his very first job. The only trouble is, he's not sure exactly how to deposit his check into his account. But Dad, as usual, knows exactly what to do. Using a Bank of Guam tutorial, Dad teaches Pedro how to access his money without ever stepping foot in the bank. There are many ways we can show our love, and teaching is one. Find easy-to-use online banking tutorials at bankofguam.com or on our Instagram and Facebook pages. Bank of Guam, member FDIC.
Welcome back. This morning, Bree and Chris caught up with AG Levin Camacho to see what his office has been up to.
We've been pretty busy, Chris. So I guess recently we've had a few things. We released that opinion saying that settlement agreements are public records and should be produced after the case is settled, and that was in response to the OPA dealing with some settlement agreements at the Port Authority of Guam. So that was a few weeks ago. We had our first Castle Doctrine case that we dismissed homicide charges based on findings and great work by Guam Police Department officers going out and finding out what had happened. So those are two things that had happened just a few weeks ago. Grand juries have now started up again. So I don't think people realize that although we've had pandemic since March, our criminal cases have been tracking pretty closely to last year. So, and to give you an idea, we charged about 340 felony cases through June 24th of this year. And last year we hit that mark on June 10. So we were only about 10 days off from when we had charged out about 340 felony cases. And the same thing for misdemeanor cases. We were only trailing by about a week or two. So unfortunately, crime has continued through the pandemic, and our prosecutors have been working through this, basically reporting every day to charge things out. As you noticed, we had a trial last week that completed. We had a guilty verdict in a murder trial. We'll be starting up trials as the court accommodates or can accommodate more and more safe spaces for jurors. So I believe there's a rape case that is starting, a rape trial that is resuming this week. And there's another homicide trial that's set to start either this week or next. So things are ramping up pretty quickly for our prosecution division.
How key was that guilty verdict in the Acosta case, AG?
What was that, Chris? I'm sorry?
How key was that guilty verdict for you guys? That's something that a lot of people wanted to see.
Yeah, it's, I don't think, Chris, people realize that. So last year, we actually went to trial 42 times. And the rapes, the murders, we're going to go to trial. The violent crimes, there's going to be a lot of trials. So we were on track to actually surpass that this year. So it's a huge, I think we want to make sure that folks who are out committing these really atrocious crimes are going to be held accountable. I know we're not at the sentencing phase yet, but, our office does take those crimes extremely seriously. And those are the ones you are going to see us taking to trial. It's going to be interesting as the court navigates, because we haven't really set up a space for social distancing with 12 jurors and alternates or even 6 jurors. So I know the court is really working overtime to make sure that we're able to resume trials as quickly as we can. But I believe before arraignments started about 2 weeks ago, we had 450 felony defendants that were awaiting arraignment. So even if we're talking 5% of those that go to trial, there's going to be trials for the foreseeable future. And the murders, the rapes, so those are the ones that we definitely are going to make sure that the defendants are held accountable.
AG, if you could, in a way that you can, tell us some more about this dismissal of the case with the Castle Doctrine, because that's something that people were following closely too.
Yeah, it's so I know that it just so happened that there was a bill that was introduced to kind of expand Castle Doctrine and make it apply in public places. But when you see an application of the Castle Doctrine to these facts, basically you are presumed when you're in your home, that anyone who's trying to forcefully enter your home or unlawfully trying to enter your home is doing so with an intent to hurt you or to kill you. So you were authorized at that point to use deadly force. So after GPD went out, they did a very thorough investigation. They gave us reports, and based on those findings, we were required under the Castle Doctrine to dismiss the homicide charges.
And you can watch the entire interview right now on our YouTube page. Coming up, your Cold Stone Creamery birthday shoutouts.
When you want to make the most of your time, waiting in line should be last on your mind. Introducing Skip Lino, the most convenient way to visit Docomo Pacific. Simply download the Skip Lino app on your device, set your region to Guam or Northern Mariana Islands, find Docomo Pacific, and select the location you'd like to visit. Spend less time in line and more time with the people who matter most with the Skip Lino app. Can't wait to see you soon. Docomo Pacific, better together.
We have the power to improve the schools our kids learn in, the roads we drive on, the healthcare we receive, and the opportunities for more jobs. By responding to the 2020 census of Guam, we can uplift future generations by providing them with the resources they need to grow as a community. Together, we can make a difference. Respond today.
My child, Ekongo, listen. The winds are singing. The ocean is roaring. And the trees are dancing. Our island is moving once again. In Aphomolik, our unity has carried us through the stillness of today. And now, the spirit of Hafaday is yearning for our friends to come home.
Nana, is it time to bring all our friends back now?
Hungen, yes. It's time for the world to give us a moment together.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shoutouts from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy birthday, Ken J. Sablon Paulino. Happy solid 16th birthday blessings to your Mr. Teen Guam 2019, Ken J. Sablon Paulino. We love you, son, always, mom, dad, and sissies. Happy birthday to the beast of the O's, Sheila Onadera. We love you. Happy belated birthday to Mrs. Essie Esperanza Essie Sablon Oliva, who celebrated her birthday on July 1st. She's a kindergarten teacher at Carbolito Elementary School. Happy belated birthday, Heavenly Sai Santos Iglesias, who celebrated her birthday on August 2nd. Wishing our beautiful granddaughter and daughter a happy, blessed 4th birthday. We love you so very much. Grandpa Ricky, Grandma Therese, Daddy, and Mommy. And happy belated birthday to Bradley Michael Joe, celebrating the big 2-4 on August 2nd, coming from Jerian, Brave Ray, and Liam, his love Jay, and the Camacho Sablon family. Happy birthday!
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birthday. That's going to do it for us here on Prime Time. Coming up next, a new episode of Cruising with KUAM. Andy Wheeler's guests are Eric and Kari Rudd, the new captains of Salvation Army. Thanks for watching. Have a good night and be safe.